your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your voice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. What is a referendum? A referendum is a process that allows citizens to approve or reject a law to be passed by the legislature. In a referendum, voters are given the opportunity to directly decide through a vote on a particular subject matter. All eligible citizens have the right to either accept or reject a question posed. A voter is expected to choose yes or no on the question given. The question in the 2016 referendum is, do you agree to the amendment to the Constitution to enhance the Bill of Rights contained in Part 3 of the Constitution of Zambia and to repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia? Requirements for one to vote in the referendum. In order to qualify to vote in the referendum, a person should be a Zambian citizen and in possession of a green NRC, be 18 years and above at the time of voting. That is, eligible voters in this referendum are those who were born on or before 11th August 1998. Importance of voting in the referendum. The referendum provides an opportunity for citizens to directly decide on whether government should undertake an issue or law or not. For example, this referendum will give a chance to the citizens to decide whether the Bill of Rights under Part 3 of the Constitution should be altered and enhanced or not. Give a chance to the citizens to decide whether to repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia, which talks about the alteration of the Constitution. Why vote in this referendum? According to the Constitution of Zambia, any alteration on the Bill of Rights requires that a referendum be held where citizens are expected to either accept or reject the question relating to the Bill of Rights. In other words, citizens have a duty and responsibility to decide whether to agree or disagree to the amendment to the Constitution to enhance the Bill of Rights contained in Part 3 of the Constitution of Zambia and to repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia. What are you voting for in this referendum? Voting during this referendum is to agree or disagree to the amendment to the Constitution to enhance the Bill of Rights contained in Part 3 of the Constitution of Zambia and to repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia. Threshold for alteration of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. The Zambian Constitution in Article 79 provides that any alteration of Bill of Rights requires a national referendum where at least 50% of eligible voters accept the proposed changes. Where to vote from? Registered voters will vote from the station where they are registered. Non-registered voters can vote from any polling station at the specific stream designated for referendum only.
It is your right. It is your vote. It is your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your voice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. What are you voting for in this referendum? The referendum question. Do you agree to the amendment to the Constitution to enhance the Bill of Rights contained in Part 3 of the Constitution of Zambia and to repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia? What are you voting for in this referendum? According to the Constitution of Zambia, any alterations in the Bill of Rights in Article 79 requires that a referendum be held where citizens are expected to either accept or reject the question relating to the Bill of Rights in Article 79. The Bill of Rights is contained in Part 3 of the Constitution of Zambia. During this referendum, eligible citizens will vote to agree or disagree to amend and enhance the Bill of Rights and repeal and replace Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia. You vote either yes or no. If you vote yes, it means that you are agreeing or accepting to the proposed amendments to the Bill of Rights and repealing and replacing of Article 79. If you vote no, it means that you want the current Bill of Rights and Article 79 to remain unchanged. If the referendum succeeds, the enhanced Bill of Rights and the revised Article 79 will be taken to Parliament for enactment into law. What is being altered or amended in the Bill of Rights? Civil and political rights. These are provided for in the current Bill of Rights. In the proposed Bill of Rights, some of the articles have been included while others have been modified. What will be new in the Bill of Rights? Economic, social, cultural, and environmental rights. Further and special rights. What is being proposed to be repealed and replaced in the Constitution of Zambia? Article 79 of the Constitution of Zambia is being proposed for repealing. The proposal is to replace it with Part 19A or Articles 301 to 303 in the proposed Constitution of Zambia or Amendment Bill 2016. Comparison between Article 79 of the current Constitution and proposed Articles 301 to 303. Article 79. Process of amending the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Articles 301 to 303. Process of amending the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Article 79. Amendments requiring referendum. Bill of Rights. Article 79. Articles 301 to 303. Amendments requiring referendum. One, supremacy of the Constitution. 4, sovereignty of the Republic. 5, sovereign authority of the people of Zambia. 47, Electoral system for presidential and parliamentary. 106. Tenure of office of the president and vacancy. 110. Vice presidency election to office and swearing in. 116. Ministers, that is appointment, role and vacancy. 117. Provincial ministers or appointment, role and vacancy. Part 3. Bill of Rights. Article 301 to 303. Article 79. Referendum threshold. 50% of eligible voters voting yes. Articles 301 to 303. 303. Referendum threshold. 50% of registered voters voting and more than 50% voting in favor. Article 79. No time frame. Articles 301 to 303. 303. Referendum to be held within 120 days after first reading of the bill. Article 79. Requirement. Holder of green NRC and attain the age of 18. Articles 301 to 303. 303. Requirement. Registered voter.
It's alright. It is your fault. It is your choice. It is alright. It is your fault. It is your choice. It is your fault.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. What is a Bill of Rights? What is a right? It is an entitlement or a lawful claim a citizen expects from the country or government. What are human rights? These are inherent entitlements and freedoms that are guaranteed and belong to any human being, regardless of race, gender, sex, marital status, color, age, disability, nationality, religion, belief, culture, language, birth, or social status. They are liberties, immunities, and benefits which, by accepted contemporary values, all human beings should be able to claim as their right in the society in which they live. What is a Bill of Rights? A Bill of Rights is a set of legal guarantees that are specially set out within the Constitution to protect fundamental rights and freedoms of individuals. The Bill of Rights is fundamental to democracy and constitutionalism and is the basis of Zambia's social, political, legal, economic, and cultural policies and state action. It formally enshrines those fundamental rights and liberties considered essential for all people in the country. It affirms the democratic values that border on human dignity, equality, and freedom. It is a declaration of individual rights and freedoms usually issued by a national government. Proposed Bill of Rights, Civil and Political Rights. Protection from discrimination, right to life, freedom of person, protection from inhuman treatment and security of person, protection from slavery, servitude, and forced labor, protection of privacy of person, home, property, and communication, freedom of conscience, belief, and religion, freedom of expression, access to information, freedom of media, general political rights, freedom of association, right to assemble, demonstrate, picket, and petition, freedom of movement and residence, non-refoulement for asylum seekers and refugees, acquisition and protection of property, equality before law, fair administration, access to justice, rights of suspects, rights of persons in custody, rights of accused persons and detainees, fair trial, right to retrial and re-examination of evidence, equality of both gender, economic, social, cultural, and environmental rights, economic and social rights, choice of trade, occupation or profession, consumer rights, labor relations, language, culture, and intellectual property rights. Environment. Further and spatial rights. Further protections and rights relating to marriage and family. Spatial and further rights for children. Further rights for youth. Further protection of young person. Further rights for persons with disabilities. Further rights for older members of society with disabilities. Non-derogable rights and freedoms, limitations and derogations. Non-derogable rights and freedoms. Limitations on rights and freedoms. Limitations and restrictions under law. Derogation of rights and freedoms during emergency or national disaster. Measures applicable during war or emergency. Enforcement of Bill of Rights. Enforcement of Bill of Rights. Report on realization of rights and freedoms.
Choice. It is your voice. It is your right. It is your vote. It is your choice. It is your voice.
Electoral Commission of Zambia. Voting procedure in a referendum. Voting procedure for unregistered voters. Unregistered voters are citizens who have attained the age of 18 and are in possession of a green national registration card but do not possess a voter's card and their details are not in the register of voters. Step 1. Preparing to go to the polling station. A voter must take the following document with him or her to the polling station. The Green National Registration Card. Step 2. Upon arrival at the polling station, voters are expected to observe all rules and regulations governing the polling station. At a polling station with streams, voters will be directed by an usher to the stream for referendum only. A voter lines up with other voters for the referendum to wait for his or her turn to be allowed inside the polling station to cast his or her vote. Step 3. Inside the polling station. Ascertaining the identity of voters. Polling assistant at table 1. Verification of voter's identity. Checks the date of birth on the NRC to ensure that the person has attained the age of 18 years on poll day. Compares the voter's face and that on the NRC. If satisfied, enters the following details of the voter in the notebook: surname, other names, NRC number, date of birth. Inking. The voter's hand is checked